I walked into his room at the wrong time. What happened next changed everything. The apartment was silent except for the hum of the refrigerator and the distant sound of traffic below. I padded down the hallway in my socks, carrying 2 mugs of coffee, one black, one with way too much cream and sugar. Thursday morning ritual. I made coffee. Tyler pretended to be annoyed that I'd woken him up, and we'd spend an hour talking before the chaos of our days began. I nudged his door open with my elbow, already starting my usual greeting. Rise and shine, sleeping beauty, I made your diabetes in a. The words died in my throat. Tyler sat at his desk, hunched over his laptop, but it wasn't the late-night gaming session or YouTube binge I'd expected. His shoulders were shaking. He was crying, really crying, the kind of silent, desperate crying where you're trying so hard to keep quiet that your whole body trembles with the effort. On his laptop screen, I caught a glimpse before he slammed it shut. What looked like a long message or email, the kind with paragraphs of text that meant something serious. Shit, I breathed, nearly dropping both mugs. Tyler, what's wrong? He spun his chair around, hastily wiping at his face with the sleeve of his hoodie. His eyes were red and swollen, not fresh tears, but hours of them. How long had he been sitting here? It's nothing, he said, his voice rough. I'm fine, just can you leave, please? Like hell, I'm leaving. I set the mugs down on his dresser and closed the door behind me. Tyler, you're clearly not fine. What happened? I said I'm fine. His voice cracked on the last word, undermining his attempt at anger. He turned away from me, shoulders hunching inward like he was trying to disappear into himself. I'd known Tyler Chen for 3 years, since we'd been randomly assigned as college roommates freshman year. In that time, I'd seen him stressed during finals, frustrated during job hunts, even angry when his ex-girlfriend cheated on him. But I had never, not once, seen him cry like this. Was it your family? I asked carefully, moving closer. Did something happen to your mom or? No, everyone's fine, physically anyway. He let out a bitter laugh. Just leave it alone, Jordan, please. You know I'm not going to do that. Why not? Why can't you just respect that I don't want to talk about it? Because you're my best friend and you're falling apart, and I'm not going to just walk away and pretend everything's normal. I pulled out his desk chair and sat down, positioning myself so I was in his line of sight. Whatever it is, Tyler, you can tell me. He looked at me, then really looked at me, and something in his expression made my chest tight. It was fear, I realized. He was terrified. You'll hate me, he whispered. That's impossible. You don't know that. Yes, I do, Tyler. There is literally nothing you could tell me that would make me hate you. Try me. He was quiet for so long I thought he might actually make me leave. Then, so quietly I almost didn't hear him, I told my parents I'm gay. The words hung in the air between us. I processed them, turned them over in my mind, waited for the shock or surprise or discomfort that Tyler was clearly expecting. It didn't come. Instead, what I felt was a strange sense of things clicking into place, 100 small moments recontextualized. Okay, I said, and they didn't take it well. He laughed again, that same bitter sound. That's one way to put it. My dad said I was confused. My mom asked what they did wrong raising me. My older brother said I was being selfish, that I was destroying the family reputation. He picked at a loose thread on his hoodie. My mom's last words before she hung up were, don't call again until you come to your senses. Jesus, Tyler. So yeah, that's what's wrong. I came out to my family last night and now I don't have a family anymore. His voice was flat, emotionless, the kind of tone people use when they're trying not to fall apart completely. Happy Thursday. I didn't know what to say. What could I say? That it would be okay, that they'd come around. I didn't know if that was true, and Tyler was too smart to be comforted by empty platitudes. Instead, I did the only thing I could think of. I stood up, pulled him out of his chair, and hugged him. For a second, he went rigid with surprise. Then something broke in him and he was sobbing into my shoulder, his hands clutching the back of my shirt like I was the only thing keeping him upright. Maybe I was. I've got you, I murmured, the way my mom used to when I was little and scared. I've got you, you're okay. I'm not okay, he choked out. Jordan, they were supposed to love me, they're my parents, they're supposed to love me no matter what. They should, you deserve that. But they don't, they'd rather lose me than accept me. I held him tighter, felt his tears soaking through my t-shirt, and wished desperately that I could fix this. That I could call his parents and make them understand what they were throwing away. That I could take away the hurt that was radiating off him in waves. Their loss, I said fiercely. Tyler, their loss. You're brilliant and kind and funny, and if they can't see that because of who you love, then they don't deserve you. He pulled back, wiping at his face with shaking hands. You don't hate me. What? No, why would I hate you? Because we've been living together for 3 years, sleeping in rooms across the hall from each other, and I never told you, I lied to you. You didn't lie, you just didn't tell me something personal, that's different. I guided him to sit on his bed, then sat beside him. Tyler, you don't owe anyone your coming out story until you're ready to share it, not even me. You're not uncomfortable knowing. Why would I be uncomfortable? Because some guys are, they think it means something about them, or they get weird about changing in front of me, or they worry I'm secretly attracted to them. He looked down at his hands. I'm not, by the way, attracted to you, just so we're clear. I bumped my shoulder against his, trying to lighten the moment. Damn, here I thought I was irresistible. That got a small, watery laugh out of him. You're an idiot. Maybe, but I'm your idiot roommate and nothing about this changes that. You're still the guy who hogs the bathroom for 45 minutes. Still the guy who can't cook anything that doesn't come with instructions on the package. Still my best friend. Yes. Yeah, definitely, I paused. Can I ask you something? Sure. How long have you known that you're gay? Tyler considered the question. I think part of me always knew something was different, but I really figured it out junior year of high school. I had this huge crush on a guy on the swim team, spent weeks convincing myself it was just admiration or wanting to be friends. Then one day he hugged me after we won a meet and I just knew. Did you date anyone before now? Not really, a few hookups through apps when I visited my cousin in San Francisco. One guy I saw for a few months last year, but it didn't work out. He wanted to be public and I wasn't ready for that. He pulled his knees up to his chest. I kept thinking I'd tell my parents when the time was right, when I had a serious boyfriend to introduce them to maybe. Or after I graduated and had a job lined up so they couldn't threaten to cut me off financially. I had all these plans for how I'd do it carefully, strategically. What changed? My brother got engaged last month. Traditional Chinese wedding, huge guest list, the whole thing, and my mom called to tell me about it, started talking about how I should bring a nice girl to the wedding. Set me up with her friend's daughter. He swallowed hard. I just couldn't do it anymore, couldn't keep pretending, couldn't bring some random girl to a family wedding and act like I was someone I'm not. So I told them, over video call, because I'm a coward. You're not a coward, you were brave. Doesn't feel brave, feels like I just blew up my entire life for nothing. Not for nothing, for your truth, for your chance to live authentically. I grabbed his coffee mug from the dresser and handed it to him. Here, drink this, sugar helps with shock. He took a sip, made a face. This is cold now. I'll make you a fresh one, but first, what do you need right now today? What do you need from me? Tyler looked at me with those red-rimmed eyes and I saw the raw vulnerability there. Just stay, don't leave me alone today. I know you have that thing with Rachel, but I'll cancel. Jordan, you don't have to. I'm canceling? I pulled out my phone and typed out a quick message to my girlfriend. Rachel will understand, she likes you, she'll want me to be here. Thank you, he whispered. We spent the day on the couch, binge-watching terrible reality TV and eating junk food. I made him eat actual food too, ordered Thai delivery and made sure he ate more than just spring rolls. We didn't talk about his parents or being gay or any of the heavy stuff. We just existed together in the comfortable silence we'd perfected over 3 years of cohabitation. Rachel came by in the evening with ice cream and hugs. She'd known Tyler almost as long as I had, and she cried when he told her what happened. Your parents are idiots, she declared, sitting on Tyler's other side and looping her arm through his. You're wonderful and they're missing out. That's what Jordan said. Because Jordan's smart, listen to Jordan. Tyler managed a real smile at that. He's not that smart, he thought microwaving metal was fine. That was one time, I protested, and in my defense I was very sleep-deprived. You nearly burned down the kitchen. Minor detail. Rachel laughed and then Tyler laughed, and for a moment things felt almost normal, like maybe the world hadn't completely fallen apart. After Rachel left, Tyler and I cleaned up the food containers and empty ice cream pints. As we worked, Tyler said, "Can I ask you something now?" Always. Are you really okay with this, with me being gay? because I'll understand if you want me to move out or if you need space or. Tyler, stop! I turned to face him fully. I don't want you to move out, I don't need space, you're my best friend, this doesn't change anything about how I see you or how I feel about our friendship, okay? Okay, he fidgeted with the dish towel. It's just, I've been so scared to tell you, I kept thinking about all the ways it could go wrong, that you'd be uncomfortable or angry that I didn't tell you sooner or worried about what people would think if they knew we lived together. I don't care what people think, and honestly, I'm honored you told me that you trusted me with this. I didn't really have a choice, you walked in when I was having a breakdown. True, but you could have made up a lie, said it was something else. You chose to tell me the truth. Tyler was quiet for a moment. There's something else I should probably tell you. Okay. When I said I wasn't attracted to you earlier, that was true, but there's a reason I was so sure about that. He took a deep breath. There's someone else, someone I have feelings for. Yeah, who? Derek from my study group, the one who's getting his PhD in biochemistry. I blinked, running through my mental catalog of people Tyler had mentioned. Derek, tall guy, always wore band t-shirts, brought really good snacks to study sessions. Does he know? God, no, and he can't know. He's straight, has a girlfriend, and I'm pretty sure finding out his study partner has a crush on him would make everything weird. You don't know that he's straight. Jordan, I'm pretty good at reading the signs at this point. Derek's straight. Okay, but even if he is, that doesn't mean. Can we not do this? Tyler interrupted. Can we not do the thing where you try to give me hope about something that's never going to happen? Today has been hard enough without adding false hope to the mix. I backed off. You're right, sorry. It's fine, I need to be realistic. My parents just disowned me for being gay. I'm not exactly in the headspace for romantic optimism. He tossed the dish towel onto the counter. I should probably go to bed, try to sleep off this disaster of a day. Hey, I caught his arm as he turned to go. Tyler, I know today was awful, maybe one of the worst days of your life, but for what it's worth, I'm proud of you for being brave enough to tell your parents, for refusing to hide who you are even when it cost you something. His eyes got shiny again. Thanks, Jordan. And one more thing, you might not have your family right now, but you've got me, and Rachel, and all your friends here, we're your family too. Found family, Tyler said softly. That's what they call it in the queer community, when your biological family rejects you but you build a new one from friends and chosen people. Then that's what we are, your found family. I pulled him into another hug, and we're not going anywhere. The next few weeks were rough. Tyler threw himself into his senior thesis, spending long hours in the library and avoiding his phone. He'd changed his relationship status on social media and word had spread. Some people were supportive, others were less so. I found him crying in his room again 2 weeks later, staring at Instagram comments on a photo he'd posted, a simple picture with a pride flag and a caption about living authentically. The comments were mostly positive, but scattered among them were messages from people back home. Former friends, distant relatives, people from his church. Some were worried for his soul, others were actively cruel. You don't have to read those, I said, sitting beside him on his bed. I know, but I can't stop. He showed me a comment from someone claiming to be an old family friend. Your parents are so ashamed, you've dishonored them. Block them, block all of them. It doesn't make it less true. It's not true, Tyler, you haven't dishonored anyone, you've honored yourself by being honest. He set his phone down, face down on the bed. Do you think they'll ever come around, my parents? I wanted to say yes, wanted to promise him that his parents would realize what they were losing and come back, but I didn't know if that was true and Tyler deserved honesty. I don't know, I admitted. Some parents do, some don't, but Tyler, even if they don't, you're going to be okay. You're going to build a life full of people who love you exactly as you are. You're going to be happy. How do you know? Because I know you, you're one of the strongest people I've ever met. You survived today and yesterday and all the days before that when you had to hide. You'll survive whatever comes next too. He leaned his head on my shoulder and we sat like that for a long time. Outside, the sun was setting, painting his room in orange and gold. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new comments, new moments of grief for the family he'd lost, but right now, in this moment, he wasn't alone. And maybe that was enough. 3 months later, I walked past Tyler's room and heard laughter, genuine, bright laughter. I peeked in to see him on a video call, his face lit up in a way I hadn't seen since before that awful Thursday morning. When he hung up, I knocked on his door frame. Good news. Yeah, he was grinning, actually grinning. That was my aunt, my mom's sister. She called to tell me she's coming to visit next month, said she doesn't care what my parents think, I'm still her nephew and she loves me. Tyler, that's amazing. And my brother texted, he's still figuring things out, but he wants to talk, really talk, not just argue. His voice wavered slightly. It's not my parents, but it's something, it's a start. I walked in and hugged him. I told you, found family, it just keeps growing. Yeah, he said, hugging me back. Yeah, it does. As I left his room, I thought about that Thursday morning 3 months ago. How I'd walked in at what seemed like the worst possible time. How everything had changed in that moment, Tyler's relationship with his family, his place in the world, his understanding of who would stand beside him. But looking at him now, still healing, still hurt, but also stronger and more himself than I'd ever seen him, I realized that maybe it hadn't been the wrong time after all. Maybe it had been exactly the right time for the truth to come out, for Tyler to stop hiding, for both of us to learn what real friendship looked like. Sometimes the worst moments become the turning points we needed all along. Sometimes walking in at the wrong time changes everything for the better.